Hey guys, it's me. We're back for another episode, Family or Fiance. Y'all, we dealing with Whitney and Charles on this episode. Let's get into it. So a little background about the couples. Whitney and Charles have been together for 6 years. They have been engaged for almost 9 months, and they are asking for the blessings from their respective families. The problem is Charles's family feels like Whitney is explosive and always angry and popping off. Her family feels like Charles is a little quiet, can be a little standoffish, yet they accept him, but they don't understand why Charles's family is not so receptive and open to Whitney. And they don't know that Whitney pop off like that because they don't see that. They don't see that side in Whitney. They don't know that she pops off like that. And so they're there, to unpack some things. In the midst of the unpacking, we find out that both of them are opposites in personality. Whitney is more of an extrovert, and Charles is more of an introvert. Okay, they both have suffered loss, personal loss, with the loss of parents. And it's really sad, like she lost, and at young ages at that, you guys, because she lost her father at a young age and Whitney had to be raised by her grandmother. We'll get into that. And he lost his father. I'm sorry, he lost his mother, and he had to be raised by his father, who wasn't, he was a breadwinner. He wasn't about that emotional business of I love you, hugs and love, and pouring into his kids' emotional needs. He wasn't about that, as we discover. So that's kind of where they kind of jail at. It works for them because he feels like he has a friend in her and an understanding mate, and she feels like he is just bread on butter. Like, just they work. Okay. Now, the issue that the two families have is that Charles' people, which is his sister Jordan, a friend Thomas, and his cousin, they feel like Whitney pops off a lot. Like, she is a firecracker. She is always angry, and she just, like, they don't know what they getting with her. And on Whitney's side, her aunt, what is her aunt's name? One is, Barbara and Cynthia. Barbara and Cynthia are her aunts, and her mother, Glenda, is there as well. I don't even know why the hell she came, but I'll get into that. Barbara and Cynthia, Barbara and Cynthia, feel like they like him, and they've always been open arms to him, but they don't understand why his people aren't open arms to. As the families arrive, Whitney becomes real standoffish, her fallback game is kind of strong. It's kind of strong. And the first person that picks up on that is Jordan. Jordan is like, I can already see she falling back, and if she gonna fall back, I'ma just let her, because I ain't about that business of chasing after anybody. See, the problem that Jordan and Whitney have is they are alike, but they don't realize that. And later in the episode, they realize it, that their loss is identical. And how they realize that is the reaction and communication between Whitney and Glenda, her mother. She realizes real quick, I get it. I get why she is the way she is. Doesn't make it, it's not an excuse, but she's like, I get it, y'all. Like, I get it. Okay. So as the families arrive, basically she's already fallen back because she I don't know, it's like she's waiting for the shoe to drop with Jordan and his people, and they see that. And every time she does that, they see that, and they're just like, they waiting on her to become explosive, because that's what she's shown them in the past. When Whitney's family, when her family comes, she's like, hola, and they're like, hey, she gives the aunts hugs. And then with her mother, who was the last person to come through the door, she was like, oh, hi. And then she tries to close the door. Her mother was like, no hug. And she was like, well, I'm trying to close the door. And she was like, oh, okay. And then when they hug, it's like a church, like a pitter patter, like, hi. And I was like, oh, okay. I see. Them two, it's the mother and daughter is the problem. Meeting with Dr. McMillan, I believe that's the therapist's name. They are given some tools and games, basically, to help them communicate and be more open and be more, receptive to each other's families. Okay. The goal is for them to be transparent. Okay. And so Whitney is supposed to talk to Charles's family, and their main question is, why are you so damn angry? Why are you so explosive? Jordan is like, we don't need to have a relationship. As long as my brother love you, we good over here. The minute he ain't liking you and loving you, I'm gonna douche you and we gonna move along. Okay? And Whitney has to answer those questions. And what comes out of her mouth basically is, I've been hurt. I've been told a lot. I've been dealing with a lot of resentment, and sometimes it comes out. I lash out because I'm hurt. I'm disappointed, and I don't know how to express that. And I see she's really disappointed by her mother, and it just comes out. And I think she's disappointed also by the death of her father, because the loss of her father not being there, it's difficult. And the backstory with the mother that she explains is that her mother had her until she was 5, according to the mother. And I was like, okay. The mother said she raised her till she was 5, and then the court stepped in and said grandmother can raise her. And I was like, okay, but how did we get, like, it was like, I feel like something, like some pieces was missing. Like, how did we get from birth to 5? I was doing well, I was taking care of her, and then at the age of 5, the court step in and they're like, nope, you can't have her no longer, you're not fit. I was like, that mother looked like she has some mental health issues that she suffers from, and that's no joke. That mother looks like she is very disconnected from her, not just from her daughter, but from her family, responsibility, and she just doesn't do well with emotions in general. That's what I took. I don't know what y'all took, but that's what I took. Just her demeanor from the time she walked through the door with her daughter, with her sisters, that whole demeanor was like, I don't want you knowing my business. My sisters are telling my business. Why can't we talk about this in private? But I'm like, then why the hell are you here, mama? Like, if you don't want the best for your daughter, and you don't want to strengthen the relationship, because I'm sorry, the lie that she told, it was evident. She was telling a bunch of lies. She said, I didn't think we had a bad relationship. Yeah, you knew that. You knew that, because then later on in the episode, she was like, well, I didn't feel like she loved me. I knew she probably wanted to know why she never could be with me. Then what you talking about? You already knew. You already knew your relationship was basically null and void. What you talking about? Like, the mama, she was emotionally pulling. She was like in denial but then she was playing them emotional head games like, oh no, we're fine. Y'all not fine. The sister brought it to the light like, no, y'all relationship is not good. And she was like, well, she never told me that. Girl, I was like, I just want to chop her in her damn throat. That's how I felt. I felt like that. I was like, mama, really? Really? But anyway, it all comes out, that she's angry because she's hurt and resentful. And it comes out also that the sisters feel like the relationship between Whitney and her mother, Glenda, is not good and it should be better. It could be better. But the sister is not willing to give. She's not willing to do anything but be present. And she barely present. According to Whitney. Whitney feels like she's always having to check up on her and she's like, I feel like I'm the parent. When they went to she's like, I feel like I'm the parent because I'm always the one checking up and concerned. And I'm like, yep, through this episode, we see that. We do see that. The part in this episode that really, really pissed me off, like, I was just like, I can't do this with Glenda. Because Glenda's sisters put her business out there that her and Whitney relationship is not as strong as Glenda is telling people or likes to think, she got mad, comes in the house, and starts to pour up her some liquor. Removes herself from everyone who's about to have dinner. They were about to have dinner. She removes herself from everyone. Pour her a drink, sit down, and says, I can't do this. This ain't even about you. This ain't about you. It's not, like, I was just like, how did she make this about her? How do you make this, like, I feel like you've been doing this your whole damn life. You've been doing this your daughter's whole life, making this about you. Her daughter, Whitney, comes in and says, Mom, what's the matter? Do you want to join us for dinner? We're about to eat. She says, I don't have an appetite. I can't. She said, well, then if you don't have an appetite, why are you drinking? I need this drink. I said, are we suffering from mental health or alcoholism? What are we doing? She said, I needed this drink. Girl, what did you go through that was so stressful that you need a drink? Nobody asked you a damn thing except for how is your relationship. Matter of fact, Charles was the only person that said, how can I strengthen or help you and Whitney's relationship become stronger? And she says, nothing. We're good. That's all that was said. And the sisters rebutted with, well, actually, we think it should be better and stronger. And Whitney feels that way too. Well, I don't think so. I was just like, okay, that's all that was said. Nobody attacked you. Nobody was beating you up about your poor parenting or lack thereof. What we mad about? And then to act like a big child, a kid, and you need pacifying. Whitney was like, okay. She was like, so you're not, I just need you to be here for me. You can't be here for me. No, she can't be here for nobody but her damn self. That would have made me cry. Because I would have said, we already don't have a relationship. And the one time I asked you to choose me over you, you can't do that. That's terrible. That's sad. That would make anybody cry and anybody be hurtful. And that's exactly what she did. She stepped away. She went in the kitchen. Charles saw her crying and he was like, babe, it's going to be okay. You got to meet her where she at. And I was like, well, shit, where is that? Like, where we meet her at? Because she horrible. She just, I didn't like, I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't like Glenda. And I don't like people who do that, who play those emotional games with their kids, and you want a relationship but you don't want a relationship, but you in the end you really you really should be honest and say, I just can't be the mother you want me to be, but meet me where I'm at, and they could choose or decide to meet you where they at. But to do that, she did that through the whole episode. The whole episode. And I was just like, okay, all right. Yeah. Okay. And I'm glad that the doctor, pulled the mother in after speaking with Charles and Whitney. She pulled the mother in, and she was like, how is your relationship? And she was like, good. And she was like, it's not good. It's not good. She's like, well, she never told me that. Does she have to tell you? Do you not see it? Are you not intuitive? You don't feel that energy? It's not good. And it's not good. And then she actually had to come clean and say, I know it's not where it should be. And I know you have questions, Whitney, about your childhood. And the reason why I could not care for you is because she said, she gave the excuse, y'all, I didn't have a place. Girl, even the courts give you some type of time limit or leniency on shelter. I mean, you ain't have shelter all 15, 20 years of her life. Like, seriously? No. Call a spade a spade. You did not want to parent. You were not equipped emotionally, physically, or financially to be a mother that is responsible for a life. You could only be responsible for your life. I don't know if she has other children. They didn't say that. I don't know if she had, I don't know. All we know is that the grandmother raised her. And then the grandmother passed. And all she has now is a non-existent relationship with her mother and her aunts. And like her aunt said, it took a village to raise Whitney, baby. Let's not get it twisted. You didn't raise Whitney. It took a village to raise Whitney, okay? And we all have issues with our parents. It's a given. They're human, and sometimes you forget that. But Whitney mother, Glenda, I could punch her in her damn throat. Because she played them games. Them emotional games. And in the end, she just basically came right out and said, I could not handle being a parent. I could not deal with the conversation that Whitney and Jordan had, where they came to it was like a meeting of the minds. Like, okay, like Jordan lost her father, and I'm sorry, not her father. I apologize. Her mother. Jordan lost her mother. And she said from that, because Jordan was looking, y'all, at that dinner scene that happened. And she was like, wow, your mother won't even show up at the table for you. I get it. I get it. You're angry because she doesn't show up. Who shows up for you? And she said, and she gets it because when her mother passed, like Jordan said, her mother passed at a young age. All she had was her father. And her father wasn't that I love you, I'm proud of you type of father. He just wasn't. He was about making them bills, get them bills together, keep a roof over your head, clothes on your back, shoes on your feet. The emotions got to be out of the equation 80% of the time. And she gets that. But that's what she wants. And they both want the same thing. They just wanted a mother to love them, to love on them, to be there. And they are not getting that. They were getting met with the hardness of life. And you got to make it. And that's where Whitney's anger came from. And that's where Jordan's aloofness came from. Jordan was like aloof, like, Jordan's fall back game is serious. It's serious. But I can't blame her. I can't blame Whitney for her anger. I understand both dynamics. And they both understood each other in the end. And at the end of the day, they just love Charles. And they can meet. Like she said, they can meet somewhere in the middle, So I did like their conversation because they realized they not as off as they like to think. Because Jordan Jordan was giving Whitney the business, basically. But in the end, after it was all said and done, they asked for the family's blessings. And they got their blessings. They did. They truly did. And I was like, oh, okay. Because no one said that they were a horrible couple or that they were fighting or nasty to each other or disrespectful. They didn't say that. They just were basically, it was basically an issue with the families and Whitney's kind of anger and her energy. So they got their blessings. But what was so disheartening, but I'm not shocked. What was so disheartening was that Glenda and her and Whitney's relationship, it never mended. It never, at the end, they, even after the house and after all what was said and done, they still don't speak the way they need to. So at this point, Whitney, if you're watching this video, let it go. Let it go. Move on. Wish her the best and move on. You got to meet people where they're at. And clearly she don't want to be met, and you want a relationship with her that it can't be. It can't be. Take it from me. It can't be. You got to meet people where they at and stop wishing and hoping and praying that that relationship becomes what you need and what you want. So you don't get what you want all the time. Put your big girl drawers on and just move on. If she comes to your damn wedding, great. If she don't, still wish her well. She ain't thinking about you. You ain't thinking about her. Like I said, just let it go. But y'all, that was Family or Fiance with Whitney and Charles. And like I said, Glenda, I wanted to punch her in her damn throat and make her teeth click. For real. Because she played them games. And she been playing them games her whole life. And I don't know if she suffers from mental health. I don't know if it's just selfishness. I don't know if it's alcoholism that she's dealing with. I don't know if it's all the above. But to do that to Whitney and to want to make everything so private. Why everything got to be private? It is what it is. You know what I mean? But you guys, come back next week. We got another couple that we're reviewing. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe, and turn those notification bells on so that you see me and all of my uploads each week. I'm hitting y'all 2-3 times a week with different things. Don't forget to share. Comment below what you want to see from me. You know, a lot of you, thank you so much. A lot of you have been personally emailing me and sending me like love via that way, and I appreciate it. But don't forget to comment and like the video, and definitely subscribe and turn the notification bell on. Also, I'm on Instagram, so look for Pretty Girl on Instagram and you'll see me. You know, show your girl some love. I love y'all. I'll see you guys soon, and have a great week. Bye.